Hey everybody!
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm not defending bestiality, but we literally eat those things. We put animals in our mouths. How bad could it be? Like, how much worse could it be if instead of putting a chicken's leg in your mouth, you put it in your asshole? Why is that suddenly where we draw the line? The way people look at this is just, hey, you can suck a chicken's dick as long as you eat it afterwards. And that would be known as like exotic, you like exotic food. But if you don't swallow it, you leave the chicken alone afterwards, you're suddenly a deviant, you're a degenerate, you need to do something wrong. This is how I start shows, I'm sorry. It's hard to talk about.
Killing it!
Like, we all have our grievances, this is how we let it out. Like, I have my own grievances. People keep thinking that our kind makes very bad drivers. Jews, if I wasn't clear enough. It's awkward talking about race. It really is. I think if you're going to talk about race, you should do it in a way that everyone would enjoy, in a way that is harmless. I'll give you an example. My least favorite race is the London Triathlon. Because there's too many Mexicans there, I know. I feel like people these days, they love to have a competition about who has it worse. It's all about, you know, whether my life is shittier than your life, and if it is and I win, that's the only thing that matters. But I understand it. Like, I understand what it's like to go through a really horrible experience, only to have it be completely overshadowed by someone else having an even shittier experience. It must be like being molested on the plane that flew into the World Trade Center. Imagine initially getting the support and sympathy of everyone on that plane, and 2 minutes later, these bearded gentlemen walk out with their AK-47s. They're like, I can't have fucking anything, can I? I mean, what happened to me then? I got hurt as well. It just goes to show that if you're experiencing crisis, you can do anything and people won't give a shit. If your country's getting bombed, you can walk on the street with their popping balls out, they don't care. If you go in the building and just start jacking off, people will initially start looking at you, they'll start reporting, they'll start making mental notes about what kind of person you are. But when a plane flies into the same building, I mean, they should know self-characters. That guy has to be the focus at this point. If you think about it, being born on September 11th must be like a really horrible coincidence. It must be just so. I mean, having a plane fly into the building is probably worse, but this is also pretty bad. I know some people who it goes beyond just being born September 11th. Like the coincidence gets worse. Some people are born. I know a guy that was born September 11th, 2001. Right. That's like, imagine what kind of coincidence you have to get at that point. Like, this guy was born on September 11th, 2001. And here's where it gets worse. He was born on a plane. And his birth date is September 11th, 2001. Imagine telling that about yourself to people. They're going to think you're joking, as if you're some comedian making jokes about 9/11. But I know what you're thinking. You know, so this guy was born on September 11th, 2001, and he was born on a plane, right? I know what you're thinking. Was he born on that plane? No. It was actually the other plane. I'll end by saying this. I think us men need to do a lot better. So many men are horrible. There was a guy on a podcast. He was giving this is the worst advice ever. He said that if a woman rejects you, you have to resort to rape. I think that's the worst thing. That's the horrible advice to give. And it's the stupidest advice possible, because if you can't even get this woman to go on a date with you, how can you get her to rape you? That's Thanks so much, everyone.